You are now tuned into the Low Key Thriving podcast. We're creating a space for growth, prosperity, and wholeness through a multidimensional approach is our thing. So stay locked in. I have a lot in store for you. Woo. What's up, LKT family? I definitely wanted to hop on really quick. This episode will be really, informal and really off the cuff because I really wanted you guys to see my intention and see my mindfulness on how I wanted this message to convey to you guys, because it's something that hits home for me, and it's important as any Black person in America or in the world right now. I feel like we're all experiencing pain and anger and frustration, and we really want change. So I definitely wanted to use my platform for something positive and really just use my voice to bring about some form of change, even if it's just one person. If I can reach one person, then I'm happy. So all 2-3 of y'all out there, I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that you gave me your time. I'm happy that you are still in the land of the living and you're on 2 feet or rolling around, whatever. I'm just happy because we have another day to fight. We have another day to dream. We have another day to bring change. And I think that's something that we all shouldn't take for granted. And it's definitely a blessing. So jumping right into it, I definitely wanted to talk about organizations or political influencers that I feel that are really making positive change and their views align with mine. I know we all have different perspectives and opinions, and this is definitely a podcast where I respect others and I definitely don't want to offend, but once again, it is my platform and I'm going to share people who I feel are like-minded, and they have something that I can stand behind and it has integrity. So I definitely wanted to share that information, and like I said, if it's beneficial to someone else, then I've done my part. If not, then we can agree to disagree. So one person that I really appreciate for his voice, he also has a podcast called The Breakdown, is Sean King. That's at SHAUNKING on Instagram. You can see him talking about everything from, crimes that we don't even know about against the crimes that the police have done against people. And you can also see him talk about the bigger things on the larger stage and political stage. So definitely check him out. And after this episode, because I always will support others, check out his podcast called The Breakdown. A friend of mine, my best friend who lives in Chicago, she suggested it, and I found it very informative, and I feel like his actions speak for themselves, and his reputation precedes him, and I think he's a stand-up guy, me personally. So he is also suggesting that we check out a organization called Grassroots Law Project. You can visit their website at www.grassrootslaw.org. Again, that's grassrootslaw.org. I really wanted to showcase this particular organization outside of Black Lives Matter. I like Black Lives Matter, but this particular organization, I like that they have, a clear plan. They have the cases that they're currently fighting. They have ways that you can donate or volunteer, and they also let you know who their team members are. really quick to give you guys a auditory example of what their website may look like to you whenever you choose to check it out. It's very clean, it's neat, straight to the point, and I like that. Let me know where you're coming from straight out of the gate. And I like the fact that they have the information and a breakdown of exactly what their goal is and what their plan is. So to give you a really quick review of their 6 objectives. Hey y'all, what's up? Liking what you're hearing so far on the LKT podcast? Be sure to follow us on social media at LKT Podcast, or you can check out my website at www.lktpodcast.com. Be sure to leave a comment or sign up in the email subscription box, or you can also send me any of your ideas on topics you want to hear in the future. I have a lot in store for you, a lot of things that you want to hear. So don't mind mixing in some good ideas and juicy topics in between there. So be sure to check it out. One is defund the police and invest in communities, i.e. Black and minority communities, end police violence, establish independent oversight, hold police accountable, decarcerate, and immigration reform. These are all things that I think about and I definitely feel like we need change on. To give you an example, with the defund the police and invest in communities, they are talking about issues with basically the issues that normally affect the disenfranchised. So that's lack of drug facilities or mental health treatment, how we have these stop and frisk police policies in certain states and cities. They definitely want to divert funds from police budgets and reinvest them into community-based programs to end the criminalization of drug use, and also decrease the amount of time that Black and minorities get for the same crimes that white people or someone else in the majority commits. Definitely demilitarize the police and stop the transfer of these military-grade weapons and ram cannons and whatever that tank that they use. Why do you need all of that to detain someone? It's just insane to me. End police violence, my personal favorite, end those no-knock raids. A no-knock raid is essentially what the police use to weaponize and kill Breonna Taylor, and then they tried to cover it up. Definitely check out the interview, and I'm pretty sure you can find Breonna Taylor's mother interviews online. The woman is strong, she's phenomenal, and her story touched me, and I believe her every word. She basically, told the story of how the police tried to cover it up, from the main detective down to the coroner. And we all know it was murder, but to hear how sneaky and malicious and conniving and how they did it, how they carried out the cover up from the beginning, it just opened, not that I didn't know, but it just opened my eyes to the depth of the deception that police use to protect each other. It's disgusting. There's also another activist, and her name is Tamika Mallory. I love me some Tamika Mallory. She recently was at a press conference for the George Floyd murder, and she spoke with the family, and I was so moved by her speech and what she said at that rally with the family, and I immediately wanted to know everything about her, and I hate that in this moment is when I'm learning about all these great activists, and I found out that she was the organizer of the 2017 Women's March. So she's very active in you know, political reform, and she's a proponent of gun control, you know, feminism, and the whole Black Lives Matter movement. So I definitely can stand behind what some of her objectives are. I love her tact and how she just goes after these cops like a bulldog. I love it. I love to see a strong Black woman speaking her mind. So definitely check her Instagram it's at TAMIKADMALLORY, excuse me. That's @ TAMIKADMALLORY. She is definitely on the forefront with the Breonna Taylor case. I've seen her go to the murder scene, Breonna's apartment, and she is very tapped in with the family. So I follow her social media for updates, and that's also how I saw the interview with Breonna Taylor's mother on Angie Martinez. Yeah, check that out. Check out Angie Martinez and also the Breakfast Club. Check out their Instagrams. They have the most recent, I believe, interview with Breonna Taylor's mother. Make sure you guys tap in to check to get updates on that case. I'm pretty sure we all are in some way or another, but I love to hear from people who were there, and I believe Breonna's mother, and no one was questioning that. But it's so sad that it took 3 months for the rest of the world to know her story, and I was just touched. I was so touched by her story, and my heart went out to her. It poured out to her because her child was murdered, and the lead detective there, boots on the ground, still chose to send her to the hospital, to send her on a wild goose chase while they were in there coming up with a story for their egregious and gross negligent act of murder. So definitely, you know, I want to close this episode by, you know, saying whatever your take is, whatever your opinion is, whether you're on the side of protesting, rioting, or, you know, nothing at all, whatever your lane is, however you want to make the change, just do it. I hate to use naive, you know, stuff. But yeah, just act. You know, I really, when the cameras go off and it's no longer trending topic on our blog, social media sites, or on Facebook, it's no longer a hashtag, or and I hope, actually I hope none of the traction slows down. But you know, we have a history of being a little too forgiving, a little too forgetful, and that may ruffle some feathers, but that's truthfully how I feel. And I hope that we really keep this momentum and we keep driving this force of change. Like I said, this is my own personal decree and pledge to be a change agent, and this is my first act of being a change agent, of bringing positive change into the world, no matter how small. So I definitely encourage you guys to share this episode with your friends and family. And it's not for me. I just want to spread information, positive information that I know, and I've checked it and validated myself. You know, these are reputable people, and they have a long history of being activists in our community, and so I can stand on that proudly. So make sure you leave a comment on my Instagram or Facebook at LKT Podcast on Instagram. Also tell me what you think about this episode. When you share it with your friends and family, you guys tag us in your conversations or your thoughts, and let me know what you feel. You know, I want to really interact with you guys more and see what's on your mind, okay? So don't be no stranger, okay? All right, y'all. So as always, give thanks, spread love, and keep it cute. Thank you for listening to the Low Key Thriving podcast. Be sure to check back for more episodes on things you love. Also, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at LKT Podcast. Again, that's LKT Podcast. All right, see you later.